Hello? Is anyone out there? Such a simple yet profound question, the first humans must have thought, as they looked at the beautiful white dots that took over when the sun went to sleep. Yet no response came. Even as humanity found answers to more and more questions, they still looked to the stars as the Earth rotated away from the sun and asked, "Hello? Is anyone out there?" Perhaps their voices weren't loud enough. Perhaps the infinite stars out there just couldn't hear such a tiny voice in the vastness. With greater and greater radios, humans screamed out into the darkness of the void, asking once more, "Hello? Is anyone out there?" Once more, the conclusion was reached that we weren't loud enough. Still that hope that someone might finally answer, so we try our damnedest to attach directions and everything we know onto spacecraft that are flung out into space, hoping someone finds our message in a bottle. Still, no one does. Though it takes time, humanity sets foot on Mars. Perhaps they do not have a voice to call out, or we were too late to answer their calls. Yet no matter where we looked, life never once existed on Mars. But still, there is hope that someone might finally respond to our cries. "Hello? Is anyone out there?" we ask, as cities are built on the Moon and Mars, and humanity finds more and more answers from our earliest days of climbing down that tree. Yet it still prevails. Yet as we search every single moon and planet, we find nothing in our solar system. Oceans that never once had life. Are we alone? Humanity asks in a hushed tone. It couldn't be possible, yet you couldn't deny the evidence. Even as humanity's influence spreads to lengths unimaginable in our solar system, technology slows. There are no gracious aliens to gift us knowledge of faster-than-light travel. There are no hidden horrors ready to gobble humanity up, to inspire humanity to rise and innovate, and defeat this horror. No rival to inspire us to be stronger, and beat them. No friends to help. This cold hell. No dumb alien monkeys to teach civilization. There is just silence. Humanity looks elsewhere. We're alone here, yes, but there are so many stars there has to be others. Please? The greatest minds out of the trillions of humans that span the solar system try and figure out how to go faster. Faster than light? No, but fast as light was possible. We built ships. We reach beyond. Sending out more calls as we travel further beyond it may be slow in the grand scheme, but humans reach Alpha Centauri, the most promising of our neighbors. Once more, our begging was met with nothing. No tiny organisms, no giant lizard people. Just a barren rock with nothing, not even a hint that there was anything. No broken factories or fish people skeletons. Just a rock floating in space. Are we alone? Humanity questions softly, afraid that they already know. A soft malaise settled over humanity, as the greatest fear every human has built into them settled in. We are alone. Humanity continued to expand. Stretching the only life across system after system, technology slowed even further. Dr. Rudolf Ketz. Ketz cracked his neck as he slowly got off his cot. His room is stark white, with a small wooden dresser, with a few knickknacks, mostly just photos of a dark-haired man with a thick mustache and glasses, and a red-haired woman smiling. Above it all was his PhD. "Morning, Dr. Ketz. Do you require any of my services?" A soft woman's voice, as Ketz suddenly got up and put on his glasses. "Just my usual, please, Terry," Ketz said, stroking his stash lightly. "Understood, sir," Terry said in a light chipper voice. Ketz walked out of his room into a starkly white hallway. A sign planted had two arrows pointing in opposite directions. cockpit, and reactor. Ketz walked towards the cockpit, tired and slow. Ketz couldn't believe he ever signed up for this bullshit. Yet the government paid good money to be a surveyor. The cockpit was a small room with a few computers and other such things. Ketz walked up to a stand with a thin piece of glass and pulled the glass out. The glass lit up. "Dear customer, can you please rate your experience with our AI?" Ketz didn't read anything and just closed the tab that always comes up after using Terry. "You know, it wouldn't appear if you just took the survey," Terry said through the speakers. "It's a matter of principle at this point," he responded gruffly. The first thing that appeared after was the Earthly Herald. The newspaper headline was as expected. Soul Shipping beats record. Revealing a tad further, revealed that Soul Shipping's newest freighter was slightly faster than Centauri Connections. Closing that tab, Fett's eyes scanned through the newest system senator elected for Bernard Starr. "Lucky bastard," Fetz mumbled. Being a surveyor was a shit job. You are sent to a couple light years away from the border, and, well, survey. Just fucking barren rocks and gas giants, or the vastness of space, for 20 years. Thankfully after this, Ketz was going back and buying a nice bit of property on Mars, though by the time he arrived, Mars might be entirely a city like Earth. Blaring sirens suddenly interrupted Ketz's daydreaming. "Dr. Ketz, planet J27892 is sending out incredibly weak radio waves." "Probably just random background radiation. Turn off the damn alarms." Ketz huffed, as he put down his tablet and rubbed his nose. This wasn't the first time Terry had a false positive. He still embarrassingly remembered the first time it happened. He jumped for joy, calling his colleagues, friends and family. He rushed to planet, only to once more just find a barren rock. Nothing ever will, or has lived there. He still fell for it the next time it happened. After the 10th time, Ketz knew this was another false positive. As per mandated instructions when entering a new system, Ketz would have to blast a pre-made signal, and instructions how to understand via a bunch of math, and respond that, quite frankly, Ketz didn't want to think about. He had a PhD in alien plate tectonic sciences. After a few minutes, Ketz turned off the signal, and drove the ship to the closest astral body, and started his job. After about a week, Ketz had finally reached the first planet, about the size of Mercury, and covered in ice. As usual, take some samples of ice and... "Signal received. Playing message." A monotone boomed out of the speaker. Ketz stopped. This never happened. This wasn't Terry. Ketz's heart felt like it stopped. It couldn't be. A series of beeps and long pauses played throughout. Ketz's mind raced. Morse code. The simplest instructions to follow made for the lowest of technology to understand and respond. Translating message. "We hear you. Aren't alone."